very exciting stuff for me. I'm giddy here, but I've got butterflies. But anyway, we've got Player in the studio. He's agreed. He's here promoting his new movie, Ready Player 2. Said that there was no way. He said, keep it. He gave us a list of questions. He says, there's no way that this is a quick interview in and out. And we're going to be talking about the movie and maybe a little track stuff. But, I'm in the driver's seat here, and I'm excited to say, welcome to the Player program. Or welcome to the program, Player. I'm flustered.
Yeah, it's the drift. It's the drift with Mike Austin and Scott Walker. And Player's the guest.
Oh, yeah. But
well, whatever this is, I'm glad to be here. And if this is my show now, I'm sure you can trust it's in good hands. That's all I'll say.
Oh, man.
Wow, I'm just so flustered. I mean, I'm like a schoolgirl.
You knew what
you
were doing with that one, Player. You act like you don't like, you knew with that one. That little wink.
Yeah.
We're in your hands.
People get butterflies around me all the time. It's sometimes you just got to roll with the punches.
Yeah, what's it like? Anyway, we'll get into that another time. But, let's start off with a hard-hitting question. And it's something that's on everybody's mind. And is it my personality or my looks that's the barrier here between us?
Jesus.
Ooh. Well, I mean, I think the real barrier between us is the restraining order, probably.
Yeah, but that's on your end. You can take that down. So that's technically a barrier. But I mean, what would it take between my personality and my looks, one of them going up at least, for me to maybe get that restraining order taken away?
I mean, I'd have to say that's not an easy question to answer. There's just so many things wrong with both of them. But I guess I would probably say personality, given that I don't think, we're necessarily going to have a physical relationship in the future. I mean, never say never, but I think if anything, we're more likely to be acquaintances than lovers.
So you love reeling me along.
Probably just say
never say never. I mean, wow.
I thought we were going to talk the track. That's what we talked about before. But what about the height issue? We talked about your long legs, and Mike is famously 5'3".
No, I'm not. Factor? I'm at least 6'3", but go on.
Player?
I mean, I've been with all kinds of people in my life, big ones, small ones, short ones, tall ones. Okay. Everybody loves Player. That's all I can say. So I wouldn't say height is necessarily a barrier. I'm usually the long one in the relationship, so
the thing that I want to get into, is that if you're not going to take away the restraining order, at least I need a way to know that you and Rachel are safe and doing well, because I'm constantly calling 911. I'm saying they're unreachable. There's something wrong. I should be able to reach them. And it's gone to the point where 911 actually said to me, "You're not allowed to call this number anymore." And I said, I didn't know that was possible. I said, what if I have an emergency? And they said, that's not our problem anymore. So I was really calling the police a lot, trying to get people to do search parties and things like that. And I just want to say, I would like to have some level of contact so that I know that you're safe at the end of the day.
Don't fall for this, Player. This is a scheme, I think.
I'm not really sure why you think you would need daily contact with anyone to make sure that they're okay. I mean,
you're just always on my mind.
All of your many stepsons every day to make sure that they're okay.
They're fine. I have so many stepsons.
They call him all the time, and he never answers. I've seen it. So yeah,
I do have
an sounds like you really
I think
you don't understand object permanence or something, right?
Yeah, well,
just because you can't see or hear someone, that doesn't mean that they're not there anymore, right?
Well, I understand object permanence, but I think that, if you send somebody 50 text messages and they don't respond to a single one, then you start thinking alarm bells going off, something terrible has happened to them. So that's more my situation with it. I'm sending you so many text messages. I sent you so many congratulations, so many fruit baskets, by the way. A lot of fruit going to waste because it's going to all these addresses that I'm paying people on player.org to, your forum. I'm saying, hey, give me the address. They say, pay me $500 and I'll give you the address. I'm sending, I end up getting another fruit basket returned to me. They say this address doesn't exist. So there's a lot going on there that if I just had the information to get you the gifts that I want to get you and, know that you're safe at the end of the day, cause a lot less problems on my end. And I might not be banned from calling 911, which could be an issue at some point. Not at this point, but could be.
That kind of sounds vaguely threatening to me.
Yeah, our producer sat us down before and said, keep it to the track. This is, you got to keep professional. So I'm professional. Let's get to the track. I think one thing everyone wants to talk about, Kalimari Desert, that first place finish, the first one ever for player. I know it was, everyone around here was celebrating, Mike more than others, but it was a hell of a time. Talk us through it. How did that come together? What was the special something that made you stand on that podium for the first time?
It was really a special moment, like you said, for myself and for my many fans around the world. Shout out to all of them, by the way.
Even me.
I can't say that, there was any one thing that really made that race different. It just kind of felt like it was a little bit of magic in the air or something. Just the little stars aligning or something, you get out to the front of the track and just kind of the seas part. You have protection the whole time.
Like
blue shells aren't really anywhere to be seen. Although I will say I did have a nice boombox on the blue.
Oh yeah, we saw that. That was
fun.
That was a hell of a time.
But anyway, it was just one of those nights where everything kind of comes together. It's honestly, like Kalimari itself. Sometimes my racing, it's garbage. It's rubbery. It's overdone. It's no good at all. I admit that. But you get a nice fresh squid, you fry that baby up in some batter. It's hot, it's tender, it's delicious. It's like a first place.
Interesting thought.
You can make everything sexual. We're talking about calamari. I know and Mike is beat red.
God, you don't want me to end up in a seafood restaurant tonight. It's not going to be
and
good.
And again,
I
think player knows what he's doing.
Toy with
me. I can assure you, this is just my natural personality.
Okay, well, you know what? I want to talk a little bit about that boombox that you were talking about, and you've obviously tackled the track in the movie theaters, on TV, modeling. One of the first male models for the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition, which was very interesting for them to go in that direction. So you've really just done it all, but music hasn't been one of the areas that you've tackled yet. Does that boombox, are you kind of signaling to anything that you got something coming in that direction?
The player universe has many dimensions to it. There's the racing, of course. There's the modeling.
Yeah.
There's the movies. And I could see music perhaps coming into the forefront in the future. I think I've got a pretty good handle on rhythm, as you can tell from the boombox. The melodies maybe not quite there yet, so maybe it'll have to be more of kind of a spoken word rap kind of a hip hop style. I'm not sure. We'll workshop a few things, I think.
And you definitely need good rhythm to work those long legs. Wow. I know as somebody who's tall as well, if you don't have good rhythm, you can hardly walk as a tall person. So you got that definitely just genetically speaking.
It's like Mike's talking like what he thinks tall people worry about, like rhythm as they walk. Weird comment. But, you're talking about the magic of first place. And speaking of magic, we kept hearing the term Cinderella going around. People were saying it's a Cinderella story. And then, of course, with that came the movie idea of the glass car, which Mike works under. And he said many men would try and fit in it, and it's a very long car, but only your legs are long enough to reach the pedals.
Yeah.
But of course, with this, you're in a tube top, sitting down in the glass car, which Mike is working under. But yeah, did you have a chance to kind of like think about that script? What are your thoughts on it? Like, are you offended by this Cinderella comparison? Do you like it? Do you like being the magical little princess? What's the player's perspective on this?
I don't like it.
Elaborate.
I love it.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Oh,
okay.
Tell me
explain.
more.
You know, when I first heard about the glass bottom car, I had my doubts. I was thinking, I'm not sure how this is going to work. If, the kids are going to want to see this, who's going to be buying a glass bottom car for their son or daughter and saying, hey, maybe someday that could be you in the car. But then I thought about it some more. And, I think there is just a certain magic to the idea of this man lonely, so lonely in his mechanic shop, just day after day after day, looking underneath men over and over, and he can never find the right one.
Man.
I don't know if
and then
it's
suddenly
not about loneliness. I don't think that you're
interpreting the loneliness is key. The loneliness is very
I don't
important.
think so. No, he's like the fairy godmother. He has his pick of the men.
That's okay. That's not how I'm interpreting this story. This is a tragic figure.
It's a sad, short man. I think you said short, lonely,
right? I mean, wasting his life. He can't find the right person.
No,
and then finally this prince in shining armor appears.
Or tube top. Shiny.
No, I am the fairy godmother situation.
The tube top. Yeah.
And I'm what?
Saying the tube top. It's not shining armor. It's a shiny tube top.
Yeah. It's like a chainmail tube top.
Okay.
Wow.
Chainmail tube top.
You're re-rating a lot of this, and I'd love to sit down in like the war room with you and just hash out this script, storyboard it. I think that'd be great. But I think we might have a few disagreements about this because, first off, not lonely. You have a stable, a long line of men, gorgeous tall men lined up to try out your glass bottom car. You're definitely not lonely in that situation. You're basically Scrooge McDuck diving into the big gold pit of coins. You're kind of bathing in it all. But so that's point one that I disagree with. Point two, that chainmail could be fun. I mean, we'll play around with that. Maybe I come over with some materials. I show you some of these tube top dresses that I've been making, and we go from there. But number three, I just think that it's more about I am making their dreams come true. These men are looking to get in that car, and this car will make their dreams come true on the track. They're going to turn into a race car Cinderella. So it's not so much about loneliness as about me granting one wish to one lucky man. So, and that lucky man, of course, is you in this movie.
I think we might need to talk about that a little bit. I don't love the idea of the mechanic being the hero of this.
I agree. That doesn't make sense. A short, balding mechanic. Why would that be the...
I'm as tall as the men.
This sexy,
we're all tall,
racer?
Gorgeous men.
No, it's kind of like the dwarf.
Anyway,
like,
irregardless of this fact,
maybe if there were 7 of these.
Wait, why you said irregardless of this fact, and then you just stopped talking? You had something. You're so beat red every time players in the studio. This happens.
So is this with the 7 dwarfs? And I'm not really entertaining this for this movie because it doesn't make sense.
Well, I'm just thinking they're very, very short, this mechanic. So
yeah.
I think it would be helpful if he had some helpers.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, to help with the car.
Are they all?
And then that way, one of them isn't just the hero. There's sort of more of an ensemble situation.
I mean, I think Player's the hero here. I think we've made that clear.
I don't know.
He's the hero who finishes.
Well, Cinderella is the hero, but the fairy godmother is the one who's basically saying, "I'm giving you the tools to become the hero, to become the princess, to become the fairy tale story."
Yeah. The fairy godmother's like, ancillary. I mean, we're off track, Mike. This is...
You know what? These are all hypothetical movies. Let's talk a little bit about a concrete movie that's coming out that I'm excited about. Ready Player 2. You're talking about loneliness again. You're kind of in that Oscar headspace where you think everything has to be heavy. But there are things about this movie that excite me. One of the things that I just want to talk about that's sort of behind the scenes that's been fun to see is you've been working with Mark Zuckerberg directly to sort of get a feeling about what it's like to be in the metaverse. And I've seen you in these zero gravity suits, fully submerged in different materials and things like that. sort of getting that metaverse experience about what it's going to be like when you're uploaded into, the metaverse for this movie, so to speak. I just want to wonder, like, is this been a fun process? Are you having fun doing this with Sylvester Stallone? And what's kind of the movie been like so far in the early days of shooting?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thanks. Mark Zuckerberg, Marky Mark, as I call him, he was actually the original Marky Mark.
Okay.
Yeah, I get a little confused sometimes when we're talking about the racer. He and I go way back. Anyway, him and I, yeah, you're right. We've been having a lot of good conversations about the metaverse, how it could be improved, because, there's some areas that could use a bit of improvement, if you ask me. Could use maybe a better currency in the universe, something like a player coin, perhaps.
I love that,
but anyway,
to be honest, I mean, that would save me a lot of money.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
The key thing, I think, really for these representations, like you were saying, is the legs. And I know it was a big deal that they introduced legs in the metaverse. And I think especially for someone like me, whose legs are a huge part of their appeal and their kind of branding, that was a key breakthrough. So I think that's really going to facilitate the movie. It's going to pop. The legs are looking long. They're looking good.
Yeah.
In terms of the Sylvester Stallone, the loneliness part, to be honest, I haven't talked to him too much. He's a bit standoffish too. I think he's a method actor. He's currently living down in a van, just in the dump. And he's really sad and depressed looking. He said he's kind of trying to take inspiration from the loneliest guy he knows. So I'm keeping out of his way for the most part.
Yeah, I don't really know how that would be sad and lonely to live in a van. You can literally go anywhere in it. So you want to find a happy place, want to drive down to your friend's house. Oh, I'm just showing up with my whole house. So now we can decide, do you want to hang out in my house or your house? And usually they say, we're not hanging out in your, and they're being polite, their house. But I don't think there's anything sad about that. So I'd probably maybe for him do something different to get the sadness, because I don't think that's going to be a good method action thing for him.
Well, I mean, I'd be happy to pass along some tips. I do understand you have a great deal of expertise on loneliness and sadness.
I'm actually not lonely at all. So,
well,
this has been such a theme. I mean, what I want to dive into, because you mentioned it, player coin. I mean, we know, Bitcoin's been on a bit of a tumble. You had that dork Shell Carter lookalike, Sam Bankman. He, I don't know what happened there, but he's causing Bitcoin to go down. How is player coin doing? Are you solvent? Is this impacting your net worth? Are you in trouble? Tell us what's happening.
First off, let me just say, I greatly appreciate all of the people who have invested in player coin, and I promise I will repay your trust.
I think I got about 70% of player coin at this point. I did buy a lot of it.
Well, then I will repay your trust.
Okay.
I am solvent. I'm very solvent. Incredibly solvent, actually. Fortunately, like I said, there's many business lines in the player universe right now. So while it's true, player coin is not currently performing exceptionally well.
It's not tradable at this point.
The rest of my portfolio is doing quite well. So
that's kind of your comment. Your comment on player coin is that you're doing so well in other areas that people should still invest in player coin.
That's exactly right. Proven track record of financial success
in other areas. Yeah.
Okay.
The SEC, it's true. They're asking some questions, and I promise I will answer those satisfactorily once I have a chance to track down Shell Carter and just get answers to a couple of questions I have. Such as what happened to all the servers. I was sure that he was taking care of all the servers. We'll get an answer.
Okay, so Shell's not returning your calls is what you're saying. I mean, I don't want to say I told you so, but when you were on, I said, do not work with Shell Carter. That guy cannot be trusted. Yeah. What you're saying is the servers are down because of Shell and he's MIA?
I mean, I, for legal reasons, can't say that it's because of Shell. I have my suspicions, but I just want to talk to him and ask some questions. So Shell, I mean, if you're listening to this, just get in touch with me or with my lawyers, preferably.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you. We're running long for time here, so I appreciate you coming on. I think we talked about a lot of exciting things. And my producer is holding up a list of questions you sent me, and she's pushing it against the glass, and she's banging on the glass, and I don't know. Apparently we didn't cover enough of them, but I think that we got a good glimpse into player, as we always do when you come on the program. So thanks for coming on. Yeah, and speaking of glimpses, how about you stand up and give us a little twirl? Let us get a glimpse of those long legs.
I don't think I'll be doing that.
Come on, just a little.
Yeah, the last few times you've been here, you've been in a chair and you've just wheeled your way out. Not a wheelchair, but like a swivel chair. Your handlers are coming in. And they push you out. They cover your legs with a long blanket. So I mean, he can do one twirl. Yeah, you can do something for us.
How about instead of a twirl, I give you a hot stock tip? How about that?
Okay, interesting.
The latest big trend, and it's going to be even bigger going forward. I have on good authority from a close friend and teammate of mine, is going to be banana bucks. Player coin.
Okay.
If player coin got you down, banana bucks, I've heard, are going to be the next trend, and they're going to be taking off before you know it. So Specialty, he's got a crack business team. Shell Carter's not a part of it. Don't worry about that. He's got lots of other reputable associates working on it, though. So banana bucks. Mike, get your money in that, and you'll be out of your van in no time. Don't worry.
Well, I don't know how liquid I am at this point to even put any money into something like banana bucks.
I see a lot of liquid on you right now, to be honest. You're very
sweat.
sweaty.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, that talk of that twirl kind of started the waterfall, and again, I appreciate
my muscles have clenched all the way up.
You beat red again, but appreciate you coming on. Appreciate the stock tip. Not quite as good as a twirl, but can't wait to have you on again, Mike. I don't know, are you in a headspace to close this out, or?
Oh yeah, I'm just excited that you came on, and we'll hopefully be seeing you around soon.